Hey guys, well I got a shipment in from my partner shop out on the west coast. Another shipment of my Holy Strat bodies, which I'm also going to make, I think besides the Holy Strat, I think I'm going to make a Skella Strat, and one of these is going to be a Rat Strat, the one that I'm making for myself to replace the one that a friend of mine talked me into buying. Anyway, they come in, and this is the second time they did this. They forgot to route the little cavity there for my kill switches that I put in these things. It's the second time, pretty aggravated. Second time they did this, so it's chilly out here. I just want to do 2 of these for tonight so I can get inside where it's warm and stain them down in the rock room. So I'm not going to set up the router or anything. I'm just going to do it with a Forstner bit on the little drill press here, and hopefully it works out all right. This does not have to be perfect because nobody will ever see it. It's under the pick guard, and of course I'll smooth it out with some hand sand it, smooth it out, so everything will be fine. So let's do this. Let me get the first mark of the start of this. Like I said, I should be using a router for this, but this will do the job. And once I hand clean it up, it'll be fine. So, I have my depth gauge set. This little drill press ain't so bad. I got the big one over there, but that's all I need for this. Should be getting near the bottom of this one. And that's the bottom of that one. Now let me move it down. This is where it gets a little tricky because there's nothing for the center point to bite into. So there might be some chatter and shit, but that's all right. We'll straighten that out. There's the little chatter. That was a big bite, but it didn't hurt anything. Nice and slow. And just this little bit right on the edge here, probably going to be the hardest one to do. Right about there. Just to square it off a little. And that should be that. And voila. Now there's room for my kill switch to go. I didn't have to go all the way down to the back of the guitar itself, guitar body itself. That's all the clearance that I need, so take out as little as possible. But that'll do it for that. Like I said, I'm going to do one more for tonight, and I'll do the rest of them on a nice warm day. Inside now, down to the rock room where it's nice and warm to get some stain and start finishing a couple of these here bodies. GoPro. Stop recording. Hey, it's a lot warmer in here. Anyway, back in from the shed, routing out the kill switch holes. Like I mentioned out there, got a shipment in of new my Holy Strat type bodies, and there'll be a couple of different names, a couple of different versions coming soon. But anyway, this one here is going to be my personal guitar. So this one's going to be a little different, probably like a road worn type thing, like to replace the one that one of my friends talked me into selling that I wasn't going to sell. Well, I'm making myself another one, and then another more standard one there. So both of them are going to get golden pecan stain, and this one is going to get Sedona red stain over top of it, here, there, streaks, to make it look, well, you'll see. But anyway, and this neck 660 is for this one, so this one will also get the golden pecan and the Sedona red. This one 664 matches this body. 664 will be just the golden pecan. This neck here is a well, that'll be a different story. That's going to be, that might go on this body, I'm not sure. That one does not need to be stained. I just got to go over a couple things or do the fretwork on it. But anyway, I've gone over both the bodies with a tack rag. After sanding them, they're both sanded down to a 320 right now. I did that earlier today. So they've both been tack ragged, and start putting some stain on. And music assistance, how about a little Zappa please? Thank you. So we put this on fairly thick at first, and just have to see how it goes, you know.
Well, not where we do everything again. Where we do zombie.
See, right away it's bringing out that grain. Now this is one of several coats. Has to dry in between. I find it easier to do on this little homemade jig that I made. And it helps a little bit. I'll probably like speed this up and cut parts out so the video isn't so long. I plan on doing a video complete on both of these guitars from start to finish, and that'll be, I'll hook them all together at a later date and time. But the only time consuming, the longest part of this is getting down into these holes here, these cutouts, route outs. It's kind of an awkward to get it in there, you know what I'm saying? I should probably just do all of them first, which I will do now. Like I said, after this dries, it's going to be down, up and down. It's going to be in and out of the rock room here all night long. to get these stained and ready for the grain filler sealer, which when I'm done with this here part of the staining, I'll show you the crazy new product that I'm trying for this kind of stuff. It's kind of like therapeutic, I guess. If you look at it like that, you can see like some spots really suck the shit in and other spots not so much. But once these are done, and this might only be the only coat inside these route outs on this particular one, because the darker stain's going to go over it for the road worn type look on this one for myself. The other one will get several coats of this golden pecan. And you can't just say, oh, I'm going to put 6 coats on. You never know. You got to look at it. Each of these bodies suck in the stain and everything different than the last. So it's just a matter of trial and error type of thing. Okay, that should be good for the route outs. Should be able to just do the main part, but see it's popping already, popping the grain out already. This, these bodies, these 2 bodies here, as well as the other ones that came in, are Polonia wood. Super lightweight. When this guitar is together with all the hardware, electronics and everything, it's a little bit under 5 pounds. So very cool, but the electronics and the hardware I put on them, there's no loss of sustain. Great tone. Nice. Nice stuff. And almost done with the first coat on this one. A little bit more. So I'm also thinking about putting a couple of these together as like an affordable version of these without the super expensive electronics and stuff. It'll be like more like standard, more like a standard Fender trim system. Good tuners though, gotta have good tuners, and like standard pickups, electronics, like a standard Fender type stuff. Will be a heck of a lot cheaper than the one with the killer pickups and stuff that I've been using. Just to give people that don't want to spend that much money the chance to have one, because several people have asked me about that. Like, can I get it with like more of a affordable stuff in it? And I thought about it, and I think that's a pretty good idea. Alright, so that's that. I'm not going to cover that because I'm going to come back in. What I'm going to do now, got to let it soak in for, I don't know, like 5 minutes. So So I'm going to go out for a smoke break and then come back in and continue. But in the meantime, here's a quick video of these being routed out in the, my partner factory shop out on the West Coast. Just a quick little thing, doing 2 at a time on the CNC, as well as slotting the fretboards. So I'll be back in a couple minutes going for a smoke. In the meantime, watch this here short little video clip and I'll be back. GoPro, stop recording. Hey, all right. Gave it a little time to set in. This is the first one. In the meantime, I did the necks and the one that's going to be for sale with the golden pecan. So now I'm going to toss some Sedona red on here. Now, don't get all freaky if it looks like it's going on sloppy, because it's supposed to. This is going to be like a road-worn, weathered, played hard and put away wet type of thing. But anyway, just going to slop some of this on. Music assistant, continue with the music, please. Thank you. Want to get it on the big areas first, and I'll see how far into the routes that I want to go with this. It's all up to you as far as this goes. This is like whatever looks good to you, or in this case, me. Even I might even go down into the holes, into the routes, and then sand it back tomorrow. Let's see what it looks like. I mean, you could even, I don't know if you can see this, but you could even put like fake wood grain into it. That's what I did on a guitar. I built a small guitar for a friend of mine's granddaughter. And go down in there a little bit anyway. Like I said, I'll sand it back tomorrow before the green filler and clear goes on. Like I said, this mixing the two for this one, it's all in what looks good to you or me. doesn't have to be even or pretty, because I'll change that later with sanding. Oops, that's a little bit much. And just about getting toward the end here. Just sit over the And these Strat type guitars, like pick guard, covers most of this wood anyway, which is good but kind of a shame at the same time. Maybe I'll make some with back routing for the controls, so it doesn't need a pick guard. Here's an idea. Reminder for myself. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I got that bottom of more here. Looking good to me. Time. Rather have too much on, sand it off to make it look good, than have too little and have to go through restaining all this. You know what I'm going to do, as a matter of fact? Sorry, it's going to make the video a little longer, but I'm going into the beast here, doing the insides. I'll sand it back as I see fit. Only take an extra couple of minutes. I do kind of want to go a little with the grain now. I see. But if you're doing this, do what you want. As long as you like it, that's what counts, right? And just to finish these up real quick. Just about it. These things. All right. Oh, 660. I almost forgot. Next going to be the same on this one. A little more tight. Finish. In there. Finish this while it's hanging up. Get the bottom again. And I hate that. You son of a gun. Ah. And just on the back of the neck, because you can see a little bit of that. And that be that. So, before I forget, if I don't do it now, I will forget. The next step, if these look good in the morning, when I come down and look, or if I'm still up in the morning and come down and look, I bought this new product called Solarez. I bought actually two of their products. The first one, Solarez High Gloss Clear, I can't believe it's not lacquer, green filler and sealer. And after that, the Super Ultra High Gloss Solarez, I can't believe it's not lacquer. Now the thing about this stuff is, you can buy it in spray form or brush or wipe on. I go with the brush or wipe on because I'm doing it in the basement here. Although it gives off no odors. You could do this in your living room. You don't even smell the shit. The real cool stuff about this is, though, you need a sunny day is the only drawback, or a UV light bulb, UVA, like a tanning bulb, which I ordered. It'll be here tomorrow, actually, so if it's raining, I can still do it. But after you brush this on, you hold it in the sun or under the tanning lamp for like a minute and a half, and it's totally cured. Ready to sand, then ready to buff out. They recommend putting 2 to 3 coats on. You can put it 7 if you want a nice thick, like there's a sheet of glass over it. It's up to you. But each time, after 2 minutes, it's fully cured, and you can sand it, and it's ready to buff out when you're done with that. So, very cool stuff. If anybody wants to know where to get it, or how much it costs, or how it works out, well, I'm sure I'll be posting a video of putting this on probably tomorrow. But if anybody wants more info, just comment below or contact me. All right? So, that be that for the evening. GoPro, stop recording. Hey, beautiful day, perfect day for doing this. This is the road-worn Strat I'm making for myself. Last I seen, I had stained it, so after that I let the stain dry all through yesterday, and I went and sanded the wear marks in where I wanted to get them, and got it to look the way I want it to for now. And then I applied that product I was telling you folks about, Solarez. I can't believe it's not lacquer. So anyway, what I did after I sanded out my wear marks, sand the whole body with 400 grit, wipe it down real good with a tack cloth, then you apply the Solarez with a makeup pad. It's like a liquid, real thin gel type of stuff. Now, keep in mind, you have to do this in a space that has no sunlight coming through. That's what cures this stuff. If I were to do it out here, by the time I got from there to there, it would be cured. So you got to do it in a place that has no sunlight coming through a window or anything like that. So anyway, you apply it with a makeup pad after the body has been sanded to 400, like I said. Apply it to get, first a thin coat. This is the first coat on here. Okay? So then after you get the whole thing coated, you simply bring it out into the sun, and for about maybe 2-3 minutes, I do it a little more just to be sure, but you tilt it every once in a while, let the sun get into every angle, and after a couple minutes, the shit is fully cured, ready to sand. So what I'll do next is, it's a pain in the ass, I got to get another GoPro, but I'll bring the camera down into the rock room. I'll sand this again lightly with 400 to level it out a little bit. I'll repeat the process. I'll put another coat on, let it cure, bring it down, sand it again. Now, they recommend, this is the grain filler here. This is not the final coating. So this is the grain filler and sealer. And what I'll do is, I'll put maybe like 3 coats. So this is the first one. I'll sand it, I'll apply another coat, bring it out here, cure it, repeat the process until you get that smoothness. Then you cure it, and I'll basically stop here. I'll probably film the top coat clear finish, but I'll be back. This stuff is great. Saves a lot of time. Normal lacquer that I use in the poly, you're talking about, to be fully cured, you're talking weeks. But to be cured enough to sand it and stuff like that, with the other stuff, you're talking like 72 hours plus. This stuff, you can do this whole process in a day. So anyway, that's what she's starting to look like. Should be out riding. Anyway, Solarez. If you want any info on the product, comment below and I'll let you know. GoPro, stop recording. Hey, I'm thinking to myself, why be stuck down in the rock room doing this sanding? I can just do it out here in the nice air. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I got everything I need. This is, like I said, the first coat of the Solarez grain filler and sealer, which should be cured up now. So you just want to knock it down, get close, bring it down more to level, sand it again, and eventually after like 3 coats probably, could be 4, could be less, but it'll fill all the low spots in and be ready for the final finish. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it by hand with the random orbital sander for some of the spots. I don't know, but gonna start out. They recommend 400 grit to knock this shit down. I got my trusty mask on because I've done this before out here with lacquer, and sometimes you get a puff of breathing, woof, get a mouthful of lacquer dust, which is not pleasant, let me tell you. It sucks. So without further ado, I'm just going to start having at it. Let's go nice and easy. Nice and easy. See, this is only cured for a couple of minutes, and see how it powders up already? This stuff sands so fantastic. Like I said, I'm not going crazy on this. I'm just trying to gradually get this so it's nice and flat. No, grain grooves or anything like that. And a good way to tell this, if you can see, I'm not sure because of the sun, But the dark spots, after you do this, are the low spots. So eventually what you want to do is get it all sanded down to this chalky white color. All those little dots are low spots. So you want to sand down to them. But I don't want to try to do it all in one shot, because then you risk sanding through the Solares down into the stain and the wood of the guitar, and that's not good. Be staining the whole damn thing over again. So just nice and easy. Especially with how fast this stuff cures. Like I said, if I was doing this with normal lacquer or poly, there'd be like several hours in between the coats and sanding. So it would take, you know, days. And then with all the final cure and everything, you're talking weeks. So this stuff is great. And you know what? That's why I brought the screwdriver. I don't need this until I'm ready to bring it down into the rock room to put another coat of the Solares on. So let me just get that out of the way and continue. And as you can see, this here is almost done for the first coat. Nice and gentle. I'm not putting any down pressure on here. I'm basically just gliding this 400 across it. Trying to go with the grain. I'll do a little cross grain here and there, but mostly with the grain. Now, can be a little deceiving, so it's good to give it a little wipe every once in a while, because you could be looking at what you think is a sanded spot. Could be just dust. See how much flatter that is with just the first coat. Of course, I'll do the sides in the route outs and the front and all that, but pretty much you get the gist of it. So anyway, I don't have to film this whole damn thing, because it's basically just doing the same thing. So anyway, I'll move the camera down into the rock room after this and put another coat on, or maybe I'll do it at my guitar table. I don't know. We'll see in a bit. GoPro, turn off. GoPro, stop recording. Well, I had a call working on the guitar for now. I was going to bring it down into the rock room and put another coat of the Solares on, like I said, to show you how to do it. But if I did that, by the time I got out here, there would have been no sun to cure it. So that wouldn't have been good. Now this stuff also can be cured with a UV UV, what is it? UVA and then UV/B light, which I ordered and got delivered to Tiny's. If I happen to be able to get there tonight, I'll pick it up, and then it doesn't matter if the sun's out or not. But for now, I'll have to put a delay on that. So anyway, I got other stuff I can work on indoors. GoPro, stop recording. Hey folks, well, I got to this. No sun today, just like yesterday is why I stopped. But I did pick up my resin curing UV bulb, so I'm going to try it for the first time. This has been sanded, cleaned off with naphtha type stuff, and gone over with a tack rag. So we're going to give this a try. I really have no idea how this is going to turn out, but let's go for it. By the way, the first coats were with the Solarez grain sealer filler. Now I'm cutting right to the super clear gloss finish, and let's see what happens here. And applying it with a makeup pad, which I need to buy a bunch of these. And the instructions say basically the first coat not too thick, and you want to put it on with long strokes and then do like a crosshatch type pattern. I don't know. They say it'll self-level out, but I'm not so sure. We'll see what happens. I may end up putting this on thicker than what they recommend, because I don't know. This just doesn't look like it's going to flow and self-level like they say it does. Could be wrong, but I don't know. Plus, if I put it on thick, it'll be a good test for my lights, my light bulb. See if that works. Let me get inside these route outs first. And this stuff does sand, so once it's cured, so incredibly nice and easy that any lumps and stuff in here will be easily taken care of when I go to sand it before buffing, which is something I can't wait to do, because I get to try my new buffing system set up out in the shed. Now, if this dries okay and turns out all right, I'll probably just cut to the last coat and then the buffing, then start putting this thing together. I'm still waiting on my tuners. My black Grover tuners were out of stock. I think that's the only thing I'm waiting for. Oh, yeah, I think that's the only thing I'm waiting for to finish this one up. Pretty good too. Okay. Like I say, they say give this, before you put it under the sun or this here bulb, 5 minutes to self-level. But I know with the grain grain sealer filler, it really didn't level itself that great. Now they say you can do a trick, put it in a microwave for like 5 seconds, and it thins it out like water, and it'll level better. And if this doesn't level out, which I'm not expecting it to level out like glass, that's for sure. But I'll give the microwave thing a try if this turns out like not good. I did notice air bubbles in this one. A little bit, I think a little bit more than the last one, but I might be wrong. I might be just imagining that. Getting any big blobs, like giant blobs, that I see. And I should have done just the back. And so see how that worked out. But you know what? Sometimes I just dive into things without thinking. Do. Maybe I'll add some music to this so it's not boring after I put this into my video editing stuff. If I do, it'll be at the beginning of this, so this won't make sense because you'll be hearing music before I say I'm putting it on, but oh well. I don't think any of you fully watch any of my videos anyway. Couple spots right there, really soaking it in. So that tells me that I'm gonna have to cure this and sand it and do a few more coats than I was hoping to do. Because I don't know, it's still soaking in, which tells me that it might have got sanded a bit too much after the last coat and took the Solarez off and back down to just stain on the last go around. That's what I think it's trying to tell me here. And this back area here just seems to be drinking it in. And yeah, this bulb too, if you have UV, like UV blocking sunglasses, that'll work. They make special glasses, of course, but they want to charge you a fortune for it. But I forgot my UV blocking sunglasses upstairs, so if any folks go to do this, do not look at the light bulb. It's actually like radiation is what it is. It's emulating the sun. And you all know you're not supposed to stare at that, right? Just quick check the back and the sides. Big blobage. Because I know some of it must have ran down. See, the back's taking it in pretty consistently and evenly compared to that spot on the back up top, which tells me, like I said, there's a little spot there, which tells me, like I said, that it got sanded a little bit too much. Oh. All right. It's another cool thing about this stuff is these gloves with the stuff that's on my fingers, as well as what's in that container there. This stuff will stay uncured and ready for the next use for months. As long as sunlight or this lamp doesn't hit it, this will not cure. It'll stay good to go. So I got to put this somewhere where that UV light is not going to hit it while it's curing, because that would be not good. I'd waste a whole lot of that stuff. So anyway, all right, I'm just going to hit it and spin it around a little bit to try to get to start setting in, and I'm going to leave it more than the 2 minutes they say or whatever, because I haven't used this. I can't see this being as strong as the sun and curing it as good as the sun does, so we'll see. Anyway, all right, here we go. And the light is on. Well, I can actually leave the other one in with it, the fluorescent. So like I said, I'm just going to kind of do a little bit here and there just to start curing, and then I'm going to spin it, leave it, go upstairs, grab a cigarette, go out on the deck, have a smoke, and I'll come back down, spin it, and just do that a few times. Actually, it just doesn't look so bad. I think this is too low. though, because it's not getting the whole body. What can I do about that without dropping shit into it? I wish I would have thought this out a little bit better. Huh. Well, is what it is. I'm gonna have to come up with a permanent rigging of the light solution anyway. Or you know what I can do is do the quick spinning around in all the areas like this. Even if this takes me 5-10 minutes and have to come back and do it again, it's still better than waiting like 72 hours to before I can sand the first coat of any lacquer or poly I've been using. So on a regular Strat or any flat guitar, this would be so much easier and faster too, but those route outs are tricky. So it's almost about this. If I remember, I'll whittle this video down too, edit it, cut some parts out or speed it up or whatever, just to make them not so long. I do believe that it's curing. And to clean this stuff up, like I got some a little on my fingers. It's under the light, it hardened, it cured. Well, if you get it before it's under light, sunlight or this bulb, this will come off with nail polish remover. Pretty cool. You know, I always get tempted. That shit's hard already. That shit is cured. That's wow. Holy crap. Alrighty. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave it in there under the light, go out on the deck and have a smoke, and come back and spin it and let it cure more anyway. But look at that. It's hard. Well, anyway, go have a smoke. I'll come back and spin it around, like I said, just to be sure. Then this will get sanded, another coat, sanded. We'll see how that is. If that's enough, then out to buff it out on my new buffer. GoPro, stop recording. All right. It's been, I guess, about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes since the segue from the last portion of this video when I went out to have a smoke. Tell you what, I don't even have to spin anymore. This entire thing is cured, like ready for wet sanding. I mean, of course, there's a little bit of, there's imperfections, but that's same with the poly and the lacquer. You gotta wet sand it to get a great finish on it, and then buff it. But this thing is ready. So, make short of this, I'm going to wet sand this and see possibly another coat, but I don't know. This looks like it may be just in need of a wet sand and then buffed out. The wet sand will consist of 3 different grits before the buffing compounds and stuff out in the shed on my new thing. It'll be 1500 wet sanded, dry it off, have a look at it, which I don't have to, but anyway, then 2000 grit, then 3000 grit, all wet sanded, and I'll clean it off with the naphtha, tack rag, and go hit the buffing wheel. So the next video you see of this particular guitar here should be either the final wet sand, the results of the final wet sand, or out to the shed being buffed. If I do have to put another coat on, there's no sense in me making you watch me put the shit on and sand it off again. That doesn't, waste time. I'm sure you're probably bored anyway. So anyway, but listen, do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll put the link once again. So far, 1 person has subscribed, and that's Scotty. Now, it helps me out because it'll get other people that watch YouTube, it'll get them to see the videos, which will help me promote these guitars. And when I say subscribe, it doesn't cost any money. It's free. It's like liking something or following something on Facebook. So there's no money involved, and I'd really appreciate it. It'd help me out. So I'll pop the link again, and thanks. I'll see you next time with this GoPro. Stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Hey guys, Phil from Enza Music, Ending Custom Guitars, Enza Guitars. This is part 4 of a video for my YouTube channel, Guitar Works USA. I'll put the link down below if I remember. Please subscribe. It's free. It's just like on Facebook, like when you click like or follow. There's no charge, but it'll help me get the word out about these guitars. The more subscribers I get, the more the video gets seen by other people. Anyway, like I said, this is part 4 of this here video series of making myself a replacement road-worn Holy Strat to replace the one my buddy Roy bought off me, which I wasn't going to sell, but I did. He wanted it. So anyway, this one is for myself, and from now on, they're going to be renamed to the Rat Strat, because they're not gleamy, sparkling like a mirror finish. They're road worn looking and kind of like a rat rod, hot rod. So anyway, I'll be back in a minute here and go through the steps of finishing this up. This is part 4, part 3, part 2, and part 1. You can see on my video channel, YouTube. Just I'll put the link below, but if you want to just search for it, Guitar Works USA. I'll see you guys in a bit. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Hey guys, last seen in part 3, I believe it was. I was done with the Solarez. I wet sanded it. And now what I'm going to do is give it a little bit of a buff out. And the only thing is, my GoPro, the battery's just about dead, so I don't know if it's going to make it through this or not. If not, we're not going to miss much, just buffing. So, hey, well, I was right. The battery in the GoPro obviously didn't last that long when I was out buffing this here body out in the shed, but like I said, it was just buffing. And I actually only buffed it a little because I don't want this one shiny. This is my rat Strat for me. Me. Not for sale. Unless it's a real good price. But anyway, so got it buffed out. And yeah, she looks good. It's the way I want it. What I'm doing here now is I'm going to start putting the electronics in. I got my EMG Steve Lukather signature setup, active electronics, humbucker, 2 single coils, and the single coils are killer. But anyway, I 5-way switch. I put my kill switch in. I hit that on the drill press while I was out there. These things are so nice, noiseless, beautiful, nice and neat. But anyway, I also have on the back, which you might have just seen, instead of the 9-volt battery, since these are active, usually you have to tuck a 9-volt battery down under the pick guard for these things to run, which is all fine and dandy, except for when the battery dies. First of all, you don't have a warning. It just dies. And when you have to change it, you have to loosen all the strings as loose as you can get them, undo 4 or 5 of the pick guard screws down in the corner here, the bottom corner, and kind of lift, well, I would do it this way, lift the pick guard up, fish the battery out, change it, tuck it back in there, put the pick guard back on, redo the strings. Anyway, I have a Fishman 9-volt battery pack. You might have, if you watched one of my previous videos, you might have seen me saying, they're 2 different companies, Fishman, EMG. The instructions you get with the Fishman, if you're trying to use this with an EMG setup, the instructions are totally wrong. So after trial and error, I did find the correct way to do it. And the next build, I'll make a video on how to do that. I want to get this thing done. But so for now, I'm going to bring this whole thing downstairs and solder. You have to clip the battery wire and use this part of the wire has to be soldered to this wire here. And that'll plug into this will plug into the EMG system to power it. And then this white wire here has to be soldered to the EMG output jack. And quick answer of why the instructions are wrong. The instructions all tell you that it needs to be, the white wire needs to be soldered to the output jack terminal that has the white wire. Well, no, it needs to be soldered to the black, where the terminal that the black wire goes to. So that's a little hint of what will come in the next video. So anyway, I'll be back after I do this soldering stuff, and see you in a little bit. GoPro, stop recording. Hey. All right, got done soldering the stuff for the Fishman and all that for the electronic system. Set it in. I've only got 2 screws. I like to leave it that way until the thing is strung up and everything's make sure everything's working correctly. So I put 2 in. Excuse me. I installed the back strap lock, Dunlop strap lock button. I went to install the front one and I lost the damn screw. And of course, they're not standard button strap screws. They're much larger. So I gotta hit the hardware store and get one of them. Installed my Babix full contact hardware trem system. That's also got to be, set up. I did test the electronics just by plugging it in as it is damp. You tap it with a screwdriver. Everything works, the switches, the tone, the volume, the kill switch. So that's all good to go. I got my Fishman is all wired up, and it's just sitting at the moment because once I get the neck and the strings on this thing, you have to adjust the spring claw for the tension on the trem system, the trem bridge. And what I like to do with these Babics are, they're mainly, most people set them up, screw them all the way down so it's dive only, like boom. I like to set it up as a floating bridge, which is tough. Excuse me. It a lot of adjustments back and forth, but this way you can also pull back on it, which I like. I mean, if you're going to have a trim system, might as well be able to do it all. But anyway, this I'll screw down after I get the tension on that set. So that's it. So what we're on to now is the neck. So I'm going to get this out the way. I'm going to take a little break, have a couple sips, go out on the deck, have a smoke, maybe toss a slice of pizza in or something like that, maybe even make a pizza. And it's starting to look like a guitar. So I'll be back. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Hey, all right, I got some pizza heating up. Put the body over there. Moving on to the neck. So what I did was, well, first of all, here's the neck that's going on this here rat Strat that I'm building for myself. And earlier I had the first thing that you want to do is get yourself a decent notched straight edge for checking the relief in the neck, which I did earlier and set up. What you do is you put this on the neck in between the frets, the little prongs, and you look for light underneath this thing. So if you see light coming through in the middle but not the edges, that means that the neck is bowed a little too much that way. And the opposite, if you see no light coming from like the middle but light coming from the edges, that means it's bowed that way. So you use your truss rod adjustment to level it out, which I had already done. So that was done. The next thing I did was take my little stone file, which I like. You can buy very expensive files and everything, which I probably will eventually, but this works fine for sanding down the tang, the little metal prong that sticks out from the frets. You don't want them sticking out. You want this thing to feel like butter. So anyway, you flatten them out that way, either side. And the next thing you want to do is take this and go on like a 38-degree angle. Kind of like that, to put the little angle on the frets so they're smooth. Do that on both sides. Then the next thing that I do is, this is a wonderful little file I got from Stu Mac, fret edge file. It's got the teeth on here, the teeth on that side, teeth on that edge, but this edge here is totally smooth and sanded really nice so it won't hurt anything. So what you do is you take it and you basically just go over each edge of the frets, kind of lifting up and pointing down and curving over the top as you go. And with that smooth edge, it won't mar or harm your fingerboard. And you just do that all the way up and down on both sides, and that makes it really, really nice and smooth. Then the next thing I did on this, which I do on all of them, is I start with 1500 grit, go over the edges, the tops, very lightly, but you know, take your time and just very, very lightly. You're just trying to polish them up and smooth them out. So I do that with 1500, wipe everything down. Then I do it with 2000, wipe it down, and then finally 3000 grit and wipe it down. And oh yes, they're beauteous. They're very smooth, very, very, very comfortable, very smooth. And these are the jumbo frets too, which are good for bending strings and stuff, you know, and working with a trend system. So after that, I clean everything off with alcohol to get any kind of finger oils and stuff. Then I actually oil the fingerboard with, you can buy special oil, whatever. I use boiled linseed oil, and it works fine. I'll put another coat on this at some point in time, but for right now, it's nice. Then wipe it. You have to wipe everything down, get all the oils off and everything. Hey, I don't know what happened. My camera is messing with me. It cut out part of the last section. So anyway, what I was saying is I oil it with boiled linseed oil, wipe it down real good, get nice and clean. I'll probably put another coat on at some point in time. Next thing I did was installed my Graphtec XL permanently lubricated nut, which is they're very nice. I decided to buff the headstock out real glossy compared to the body. I don't know why. I can like remove the tuners and stuff and knock it down if I don't like it, but anyway, that's what I did with that. Next thing I did, I installed my Graphtec permanently lubricated string trees, which are, you gotta have decent string trees if you're doing a lot of whammy, guitar bending, stuff like that. These are great. Next thing I did was trying a new product on this one. Since it's for me, I usually use Grover's as far as the tuners, machine heads go. But I'm trying these here Diodario Planet Waves auto trim tuners. They're 18:1 ratio, gear ratio, which is nice. And the cool thing about these things is that you put the string through, pull it fairly tight. As soon as you start tuning, it snips the excess guitar string off. And also, there's no multiple wraps with these. You pull it in, you tighten down the locks, and the string is in there. Start tuning, it cuts it off, you're good to go. And they look cool as shit, and they're nice. So anyway, with that being said, I do believe my pizza should be ready. I'm gonna have some of that, and then I'll be bolting this thing on the guitar body and stringing it up. You don't need to see that boring shit. So anyway, that should be the next video you should see of this, hopefully tonight. I'd like to be playing this tonight. Is the next, what was I saying? Oh, the next thing that you'll probably see is this thing bolted to the body, all strung up, in tune, and time for a test run, I think. I don't know, the camera glitch got me all like screwed up here. So anyway, GoPro, stop recording. Well, folks, she is done. My my rat Strat, my personal guitar, not for sale, not for sale, unless you talk me into it, but I doubt it. Anyway, this is what she all looks like. I still have to put my logo neck plate on, but I want to play the crap out of it first. So that's exactly anyway, gonna play the living crap out of this thing and then intonate it tomorrow, and maybe then I'll record some jams with it. But I'm loving the way this turned out. Plays so good too. I spent some extra time on the fingerboard on this one. Anyway, waiting for one of my best buddies and my also business partner. Should be in from Colombia, South America in about another 40 minutes or so. So this ought to be interesting. It's been gone since December. Anyway, GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording.